Guys, remember when Kylie Jenner's favorite sentence was, "This is just a really good bra"? Like, in order for me to get my boobs to look like this, it's just like a good bra, I promise.
It's just a normal lace bra. This is the bombshell. This is it. No breast implants, no surgery.
Why you always lying? Why you always lying?
The girl practically spent most of the 2010s deflecting every single plastic surgery rumor while continuously overlining her lips. Meanwhile, the rest of us were zooming in on screenshots, comparing nose bridges, before and after pictures, and getting into massive fights in comment sections like we were forensic scientists. But 2025 Kylie woke up and decided to out herself. A very daring creator decided to shoot her shot and ask Kylie Jenner how in the world she got her boobs to look the way that they did, and she wanted the exact breast implant deets.
This is a TikTok for Kylie Jenner, okay? If you're not Kylie Jenner and you don't care about boob jobs, plastic surgery, just keep scrolling. Girl, please, can you just tell us? I promise you, my followers, lovely. Safe space on here. Please, can you just tell me / us what it is that you asked for when you had your boobs done? To me, you have got it's like the most perfect natural looking boob job ever. They're still big.
At this point, we weren't even assuming they were natural. We knew that was surgery, girl. 1 minute she's stitching a random TikTok and without flinching rattles off the exact implant size, 445 cc's, the profile, which was moderate, the placement, dual played half under the muscle, and the surgeon's full government name, Dr. Garth Fisher. Kylie Jenner coming out and revealing she had her boobs done in a TikTok comment section after swearing up and down to everyone that it was just the VS bombshell bra. Isn't it obvious? I fear it's always been obvious. Is the sky blue? Is Harvard even hard? Like, duh! Her entire body is done. It really is not a shock.
Kylie Jenner dropping her surgeon was not on my bingo card. If you watch Keeping Up, you know Garth Fisher has operated on other members of this family. We're going back about 10 years here, maybe even more. But in one of the episodes, Chris had some work done with Garth Fisher. I can't remember if it's body surgery or a bit of facial work, but she had something done with Garth Fisher. Obviously, back in the day, Kylie used to deny these boob jobs and say it was a bra. So I do think it's super interesting she's been very open there, which I think is obviously a good thing. On a recent podcast, Stassi basically said, I alluded to it, but I did actually have a BBL. So, who knows, maybe Kylie will come out and admit that, even though it's obvious.
In the same week, she drops a Since You've Been Asking hair tutorial, complete with product links, brush angles, and the world's most casual mention of her color formula.
That is the hair.
And then apparently TikTok collectively flatlined. Clear! The girls need resuscitation! Suddenly, the internet's favorite secret keeper has now been rebranded as your blunt, transparent older sister.
Kylie is never gonna tell us what she has done ever again if you guys keep freaking out. Act fucking normal. Act normal. I just saw Page 6 put a video of her walking with her boobs out and her comment over it. We need to act like it's not a big deal and then she'll tell us more. You're ruining it.
This has opened an entire new can of worms of oversharing and transparency, where the girlies are jumping on the bandwagon, the Kylie Jenner transparency bandwagon, and sharing everything they've gotten as well. Hopping on the trend since Kylie Jenner shared her boob info: 300cc, moderate profile, under the muscle, silicone implant, Dr. Philip Kraft in Miami. So what I want to know is what has changed. How is oversharing now the new billionaire flex? And is Kylie's girls girl era actual empowerment, or is this just some sort of marketing stint? Ladies and gentlemen, buckle up, because you better believe we're about to find out. From 2014 to roughly 2022, the Kylie Jenner playbook was very simple. Deny any surgeries or fillers, and then distract your audience by dropping a new product. It sounds ridiculous and simple, but honestly, it worked. For years, we heard every excuse under the sun. Puberty, lactation, contour. The strategy worked because mystery sells. If Kylie never confirms the surgery she has, you continue to search, understand, and try to purchase any product she promotes in order to try to get her coveted look. And now we've got footage of Kylie Jenner crying on her TV show because of course, public scrutiny of what she's gotten done and her face.
I think it's just after 10 years of hearing about it, 10 plus years, it just gets exhausting. I'm kind of so numb to people talking about my looks at this point, and I just want to know why on the internet no one says anything or think that it's okay. I went on a journey the last year dissolving half my lip filler. I hate even having this conversation over and over and over again because it feels like it's a waste of my breath, because I think with me it's just never going to change. It's just been...
But did anybody actually care? Not really. I slam dunked on her, but Gabby Hanna felt pretty bad. Bro, Save it, Gabby Hanna. I don't want to listen to you, bro.
I just want you to know, Kylie, I feel bad for you.
Help me! Help me! Help me! Help us.
Gen Z has now entered its show the scar phase. Nobody wanted to see a millionaire crying on camera about her looks when the world is practically on fire.
So I just saw this, which is a clip from the new Kardashian season. And boy, is it interesting. Apparently, Kylie Jenner says, we need to talk about the beauty standards we're setting. I don't want my daughter to do the things I did. And it is just so fascinating on so many levels. But to me, the most immediate thing that stood out was, we've been telling you this. You've like corrupted an entire generation, multiple generations, and yet it took her having a daughter to care or realize. And that reminds me of this thing that I have read before, all about the arithmetic of compassion, which basically says that we have more compassion, like psychologically, we have more compassion for individuals than we do for large groups of people. And then of course, Kylie's daughter is closer to her as family. We care more about people that we know, right? But even still, like there are millions and millions, hundreds of millions of people billions, who the Kardashians have corrupted with their beauty standards, but they don't care. And so this whole concept is, how big do the numbers have to be for insensitivity to begin? Not very. Like shockingly few before you stop caring. Compassion fade, where your compassion fades away, can occur when an incident involving a single person expands to 2 people. So in a study, participants were asked if they would make donations to either a single needy child or 2 needy children. The researchers found that people's positive feelings about donating declined substantially when the group size went to 2.
And it didn't take very long for the beauty industry to understand and notice this, so they pivoted to a brand new tactic. Companies began to understand and focus on authenticity. If you had fillers or implants, now was absolutely the time to share the truth. Because guess what? More likely than not, you would have dozens of people in your comment section praising you for your transparency and honesty. And with how thousands of people were slamming Kylie's crying clips, she decided to finally jump on the bandwagon. So she started outwardly admitting the truth wherever she possibly could.
You know, I got my breasts done before Stormy. I had beautiful breasts, like natural tits. Sat perfectly, just gorgeous. Like perfect size, perfect everything. Okay. And I just wish, obviously, I never got them done to begin with. I would recommend anyone who is thinking about it to wait until after children. Yeah, obviously I have a daughter too. I would be heartbroken if she wanted to get her body done at 19. I want to be like the best mom and best example for her, and I wish I could like be her and do it all different.
And this clearly wasn't the last time, because here she is now dropping bombshells, no pun intended, all about her plastic surgeon. Now, I really want to decode this infamous shout out. Just as she had for many years, Kylie could have kept it quiet and cute and said, yeah, I got my breasts done when I was really young, kind of regret it, and I maybe wouldn't recommend doing it yourself. But instead, she gave us a blueprint? People treat plastic surgery details the way sneakerheads treat SKU codes. It's gate-kept intel that separates insiders from normies. Dropping 445 cc's casually on social media is literally like dropping the blueprint for how to make a Yeezy.
We're getting a lot of questions about what it means for an implant to be half under the muscle after Kylie Jenner's post. So half under the muscle refers to a dual plane breast augmentation. That's what plastic surgeons would refer to it as. If you see in the top image, the implant is placed underneath the pectoralis major muscle, but the muscle has been released at the bottom, and that allows the muscle to window shade up. And as you can see from the quarter angle view, as a result, you get a little bit more rounding out of the bottom third of the breast, and the upper third is camouflaged by the muscle, so you don't get that harsh roundness at the top. So overall, it gives a little bit more of a teardrop kind of shape from the side, and that we consider to be a bit more of a natural kind of appearance.
After years of hiding and constant lying about your procedures, at first when she came out with this information, it seemed like a pretty random, nonsensical choice. But in any Kar Jenner fashion, this was a very strategic and planned move. She obviously did it for a reason. First, she wanted to be as transparent as possible before any of the tabloids could get the full scoop. If Kylie had just said, yeah, I've gotten a couple surgeries, tabloids and TikTok internet detectives would be hunting down receipts, trying to figure out the exact procedure she took part in. In order to avoid that whole mess, Kylie decides to drop every detail under the sun. Second, she wants to ease the fact that she has lied to her fans for years. The moment that she publishes the receipts, the relationship completely flips. Now she's that lovely friend that lends you her surgeon's phone number and says, "Girlie, I got your back." Psychologically, this makes her followers now finally believe that she's on their side. "I've always wanted the best for you, bestie. I'm always here for you and I'll always tell you the truth." And of course, more than ever, people are truly falling for it.
Some girl here on TikTok shot her shot and asked Kylie Jenner about the details of her latest breast augmentation. And Kylie actually saw it and commented all the details of her augmentation. This is such a huge deal to me because I feel like this is the most transparency we've ever gotten from any celebrity ever when it comes to like aesthetic enhancement. I feel like we should be kinder to celebrities about this type of stuff so they feel like they have more of a safe space to talk about what they've had done. I don't think celebrities necessarily owe it to us, but just like the straight up lying and gaslighting is so tired. I'd actually rather a celebrity not speak on it at all than try to make us as viewers seem like we're the dumb ones for thinking that, because Bella Hadid literally just went on Vogue and she was like, "No, I've never had anything done to my eyes." Or Lindsay Lohan recently said that chia seeds were the reason face looks so tight. All celebrities are getting work done, and honestly, you have to know that if you were in that industry and you had the money, you would definitely do it, or at least consider doing it too. Us as normal people can stop comparing ourselves appearance-wise to them because looking good is literally their job. So anyways, let's give it up for Kylie Jenner. Thank you.
I think it's so funny if anybody watches any of this content and sees her comment and thinks that there is a single thing that the Jenners and the Kardashians do that isn't completely contrived. This has nothing to do with, she just decided to be this girl's girl. It was all very planned. They made billions off of women's insecurities. She denied having any plastic surgery for nearly a decade. She exploited her workers for years. She is far from transparent, and she's only sharing that because it's acceptable now. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. So beautifully said. Wow, after denying it for a decade. Exactly. If you received Depo-Provera birth control shots and were later diagnosed with a brain or spinal tumor called meningioma, you may be eligible for a lawsuit. Morgan & Morgan is investigating claims that patients weren't properly warned about this risk. It's free to check, takes a few minutes, and you don't pay unless they win. Click the link below or go to forthepeople.com/Lael to see if you qualify. In influencer economics, trust is currency. Candid details restore what denials eroded. The sense that if Kylie recommended a product or a routine, it comes with the whole truth attached. Confessing legit surgery specs can feel a little bit clinical and a little bit heavy. And then of course the hairstyling vid was kind of like a palette cleanser. Teaching you how to do your hair is relatable, safe, it's like a copy and paste kind of vibe, and like very little controversy would happen in the comments. I wonder if she's gonna put out a hairline next. By sandwiching hard honesty between something much quote-unquote safer, Kylie trains her viewers to accept her confession without anyone freaking out. And of course, Kylie is not floating alone either. In the past year, Stassi came out on a podcast and actually openly admitted to her BBL.
And I think it's like not a secret or something that I can physically hide at this point that like, yes, I have a BBL.
Dove Cameron then laid out her entire fox eye procedure, and Bella Hadid hinted that maybe one day we would get the final deets about how she literally turned into a new person. Two engines power this confession boom. First, TikTok favors serial storytelling. That's why we've got those follow for part 2, 3, 4 videos flocking your FYPs. This keeps people watching much longer than a single red carpet reveal. Second, fresh FTC rules threaten fines for undisclosed medical endorsements. Voluntary transparency is much cheaper than some sort of lawsuit that comes up over undisclosed lipo. Honesty has seriously become the influencer's new blue check, a badge that signals your credibility to an audience that has already known for years that you've been lying to them. And somehow we quickly forget everything from the past when we get a teeny tiny bit of what we want. TikTok just loves a villain to hero arc. Yesterday, Kylie was a gatekeeping siren with a brand new face since last year, and today, she's a feminist big sister that'll tell you everything you want to know. But let's not forget all of the undisclosed procedures that she continues to lie about, never opening up about, for some reason talking about boobs, and the way that she influenced so many young, impressionable 13-year-old girls to put a shot glass over their mouth and literally get bruising for weeks.
Was Kylie Jenner crying when she saw the impression she made on 13-year-old girls who were sucking on shot glasses to get big lips like hers, only to be sent to the hospital with sometimes permanent damage? No, she said, don't do that, just buy my lip kit. That's how I got my lips so big. Because she violently gaslit an entire generation into thinking she didn't get any surgery, and the results were by a product mistake that she made while she laughed all the way to the bank. I saw the clip of her crying over the ugly photo, and the only thing I could think of is, indirectly or directly, you have capitalized, made an entire career off of that feeling. You sitting there on the couch feeling like that is how an entire generation of women felt and thought they had to be like you and buy your products and do this and that. That's the only reason you made money, and you expect us to feel bad for you? The most annoying thing about that clip is Kendall Jenner with her armchair psychology. Well, everybody's dehumanizing us. That's why this is happening. Poor us. They're dehumanizing you because you don't act like human half the time. I mean, some of the stuff your family has done just to get on top. What was the point of that clip? Like, I don't watch the show and I don't plan on it, but like, was it to make viewers feel bad for Kylie Jenner? Was it for Kendall Jenner to gaslight and dismiss an entire audience? I really don't get it.
This is why I don't believe anything anymore. Like, there is not a single thing that a celebrity does that I believe wasn't already thought of by the minds of like 20 people before they decided to make that decision. Everything is based around money. And how is it that this is happening exactly at the moment where Kylie's businesses are at their lowest? Nobody's paying $300 for your Kai jeans. Nobody's buying this dusty ass kiosk makeup that clearly nobody actually likes. And just because you tell people years later about a procedure you got when you were in your teens and decided to lie about for such a long time doesn't make you our big sis or our girl's girl. The irony. Her denying ever having any plastic surgery sends me. The anger I feel every time. The way that I get comments on all of these videos of you guys being like, Lael, it really wasn't that deep. I was living it, baby. I was literally in the trenches in high school, overlining my lips, using the weirdest lip plumpers on my mouth to try to look like her. I was subject to it just like everybody else. And if you weren't there for it, babe, it might not have felt real to you, but it was so real to me. And seeing other girls that feel the same is like coming home. It feels like coming home after a 4-week backpacking vacation. I feel like I'm with my people. This is the take. Amen. 56,000 likes. I have zero sadness for her, period. Well put. I'm 35 and I still want lip filler. And only now am I starting to just embrace my own face. I don't think these people realize what they did, the chokehold they had us in to make us believe that we needed to look like a certain mold and not like ourselves. And then took all our money too. Like, you forget that you put her in that mansion, girl. You did that single-handedly yourself. The truth is messier. And yes, posting implant data actually does help young women. It can help with transparency, and it lets women who genuinely need these procedures to figure out if the surgery will actually work for them or not. But the accessibility is still lopsided. This Beverly Hills augmentation costs 5 figures, plus travel time, plus time off work. Kylie dropping her surgeon is not a way of helping the girlies out. She wants to sound as honest as possible because she's giving you directions to a destination that most of her followers can't even afford to visit. Of course, we cannot ignore the relief that Kylie's honesty has actually brought us. Teens no longer have to torture themselves with push-up bras promising physics-defying miracles. Knowing that surgery played a massive role in this allows them to take a break on themselves and actually make an informed decision. Start a savings plan or research the risks or just stop comparing altogether. At minimum, the gaslighting is gone. Amen. One big leap for women. But even then, Kylie could never be a surgery spokesperson or whatever the heck she's trying to be right now. Doctors understandably are already becoming uneasy. An implant that flatters Kylie's torso might actually look very ugly and cartoonish on somebody with a shorter torso. And no matter how detailed Kylie's description is, it does not talk about her chest width, the tissue that she already had before surgery, all of the different factors that create different results. Even weightlifting habits can affect the actual outcome of your surgery after the procedure. And the appetite for more and more confessions and more honest content continues to grow. Every single reveal raises the bar for the next. Celebrities could feel pressured to dump increasingly personal medical files preemptively, turning vulnerability into engagement bait. And Kylie is already doing it. As you guys already know from my previous video here, Kylie's entire brand has been on a downward spiral for years. So why do you think she's popping up and doing this now? The more that celebrities do this, the more us, the audience, might start feeling a little bit of authenticity fatigue. And this is especially because the same neuroscience that makes this feel very intimate also makes it feel very dangerous at scale. When a celebrity shares deeply personal data, the brain's parasocial mirror regions light up. The anterior cingulate and ventromedial prefrontal cortex, the same circuitry used in real-life close bonds. We subconsciously label the creator celebrity as trustworthy family, which actually lowers our buyer skepticism by about 30%. Here's the marketing. Trust her more, buy more products. In other words, when Kylie starts spilling the tea, the part of your brain that actually feels skeptical is like half asleep. Brands see the numbers numbers and start weaponizing oversharing. The more surgical or emotional confession, the higher and more bulletproof the conversion rate is. And there's an even creepier side effect. Hold on for this one. Behavioral scientists call it progressive disclosure inflation. Audiences acclimate, then demand even deeper revelations to feel the same intimacy high. Today it's breast plant info about the CCs. Tomorrow it's live streaming literally in the operating room. This pressure can push celebrities into preemptive vulnerability dumps. Medical, mental health, even their children's bodies, just to be able to stay searchable. She tells her followers, I would never want Stormi to do anything to herself. I would never want her to touch her body, though she's had dozens of surgeries over the past 10 years. The fact that Kylie Jenner has hidden this surgery for what seems like a decade, and now we all believe that she's some sort of knight in shining armor of transparency coming to save the day, is actually laughable. We've assumed it for decades, and it doesn't change the fact that you've completely tainted your brand for so many years. I don't know how you're gonna come back. I love this take from Dr. Dubrow because it's an angle that when I first found out about all this information, I didn't really think about.
I wanted to ask you, I don't know if you've seen, but Kylie Jenner recently posted a TikTok about, her boob job, and she said where she got it done at, the plastic surgeon and everything. I want to know what you thought about it.
Kylie Jenner.
I think she looks amazing.
Well, so I'm very happy that she's admitting to having that done. But I think a year ago, she said she regretted it. And then her friend Stassi said she regretted it too. So the message you're giving out is right now, I think she should qualify it, right? I think she should say, it's great, but I think it's important that she caution people. She had it at age 19. Someone like Kylie can really move the needle like that. I think when she sort of admits to having a procedure done, it's better to admit it and say, except, maybe I shouldn't have done it early, because when Kylie admits to it, everybody's going to go ahead and get it.
Yeah. You know what's so great? Kylie's such an inspirational, incredible woman and has all these young women following her. And when she speaks her truth and all that, I just think it's a beautiful thing.
The surgeon, the office that she got it done at, they said that they've been getting a lot of calls. People want to, have the same surgery.
So it's important to evaluate whether it's appropriate for you, evaluate the risks, and make sure it's something you really want to do and understand what the complications are associated with it. So, be very careful about plastic surgery because it's really serious.
And Terry has a new show coming out, and you might have that very thing to discuss.
The first comment under that video is so good. He's right. Kylie Jenner single-handedly ruined the self-image of an entire generation of young girls, then had the audacity to lie about it for years, cry about the backlash, and now suddenly she's giving her assembly line specs for all to see, like she's giving out something helpful. Yuck. That was perfect. Like, that was music to my ears. I'm not a hater, I promise you guys. I can't. Was that a lie? She has a very strong influence. Remember when she said she got her lips big by vacuuming them in a cup? I remember that very clearly. He is so smart and considerate of his patients. LMAO, Heather's scared he's gonna say something that will get them in trouble. I totally agree, and Kylie should use her platform to warn young girls about the risks. Surgery is very serious. Why was it so hard for her to be transparent from the beginning? This is why I am very skeptical about this whole new girl bestie Kylie thing, because I think it is very contrived and I don't think it's authentic. I think every single celebrity goes through an assembly line of about 20 different people on their team that then decide, okay, guys, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're doing for Kylie's brand. And of course, Kylie's brand has been suffering for a long time, so I understand why she's doing it right now. This is the era of authenticity, but honey, you missed it by about 10 years. You are about 10 years late, and because of all of the lying, the deceit from the Kar-Jenners for such a long time, there is not a crumb, there's not a atom within me that exists that believes that this is true. I don't believe it was done to be a girl's girl. I don't believe it was done because she loves her fans. I don't believe she's King Kylie, and I certainly don't believe she gives a crap about any single one of us. Her brands have been failing for such a long time. The amount of people that actually search her are probably only searching her because she's Timothée Chalamet's new girlfriend. But aside from that, like, nobody's actually showing up to buy your products anymore. So she's doing anything to save face at this point. And what needs to be also understood is now we are entering in an entire new decade of girls going, Kylie has her boobs done? I'll do that too. I'll do that too. I'm gonna go to Garth Fisher. I'm gonna spend every little bit of money that I have, without understanding that just like a rhinoplasty rhinoplasty, just like a boob job, you cannot show somebody a picture and go, I want these. I want this nose. I want these boobs, because everybody knows, if you guys watched any of my videos, you guys can watch my rhinoplasty nose job deep dive here. Everybody starts off with a different amount of breast tissue. Everybody starts off with a different width of their rib cage. Everybody starts off with a different looking nose. You cannot show a picture and possibly get Kylie Jenner's breasts. You can't. And that is something that I find incredibly deceiving. We are very unique. The way our breast shapes are is very unique. And you also have to understand that this girl is going off and doing facelifts, procedures left and right because she can afford to do so. Her telling us what she's gotten done is literally a fart in the wind. It means nothing, because are any of us really capable of going through and doing the things she does? I don't have the money to do revision surgery after revision. I don't have that. Just because you want to know about Kylie's boobs and what she asked for and the size and everything does not mean that it's going to look the same on you. That's just unrealistic. And it's almost weird to go, okay, good, I have all of her info. I'll go and get surgery to look like her, and you'll never end up looking like her. It's just simple PR. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please throw a big fat thumbs up and also comment down below. What do you guys think of this? Are we excited about this newfound authenticity, or do we think this is all another weird cash grab? I just don't believe a single thing I see in the media anymore. I don't really believe celebrities anymore, especially after Lindsay Lohan didn't confess to her surgery and just simply said it was skincare. All of it seems ridiculous. If you guys enjoyed this video, you can go ahead and click here to find out all about the downfall of Kylie Jenner and why it's just not working anymore, and probably why she's doing a last dash effort to try and get her fans back on her back buying all of her products. Or you can go ahead and click here to learn all about the downfall of the Kardashians, because guys, it's done. We are so fed up, or maybe it's just me. You guys know I love you, and I only make these videos because I truly want the best for you. I hope you have an amazing day or night or whenever you're watching. Don't be deceived by these people, and I'll see you very soon. Bye.